The date is June 28th, 1914. And a man and his wife were shot, killed. And why does this matter? His assassination triggered a chain reaction. Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia. Alliances kicked in across Europe. And within weeks, the continent was at war. This event directly sparked World War I. A man and his wife getting assassinated. Now, yes, they were political and they had influence and it did trigger some things between people. But look at what's going on in the world today. How in the world has World War III not started? Take it away. I mean, come on.
Well, it's interesting because, we were talking the other day and you were like, "Oh, what can we talk, what should we talk about?" And it's like, tomorrow we'll have tons to talk about. It's like every day there's something to talk about, but the stock market is fucking ripping right now. It's been a phenomenal week in the stock market.
Yeah, because Trump is controlling who comes and goes in the strait.
Well, the reason I'm bringing it up is because the stock market basically flows on people's emotions, right? If people are scared, the market tanks. If people are excited, the market goes up. Right now, Trump's out saying like the war's over, or people feel like the war is over, which is interesting because it's not.
I'm sorry we betrayed you, sir. We love you.
It's the market is reacting as if like the ceasefire went through and like kumbaya.
Yeah.
So I think that's interesting because I haven't seen that before.
And
I mean, like, it's fucking ripping, dude.
That actually brings up a good point because we went from, the last 2 weeks, I would say, that we've observed and watched all of this stuff. It was Iran. And then you're seeing this slowdown here. And then all of a sudden you're seeing Nick Shirley. You're seeing fraud here. You're seeing this congressman sexually assaulting his assistant. What else did we see? Hunter Biden, escaping to South Africa. They said, he's like Waldo. Where's Waldo? The motherfucker is lost again, is looking for his laptop.
Dude, I saw something yesterday and, this guy comes on. He's like, "Hey, so real quick question. Whatever happened with ICE?" And you sit there and you're like,
right?
It's a reminder like how much you get suckered at it. Like nobody's talking about Epstein.
You know what you're not seeing on the news much? All of the ships that were sent over to the United States to fill up their bellies. What's up with that? Why isn't that being talked about? Well, I'm so sorry, Mr. Trump. You are the king.
No, you ain't the king. You Jesus.
Jeez. My God.
Yeah. Trump is walking on
a magical moment right there. That's where we go viral.
Dude, Trump was walking on water and fucking turning blood into wine, baby.
See what I'm saying? Like, you're starting to see other things back in the news again that we had not seen in a hot minute. And I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Where's that woman's fucking mother?
My God, please don't bring that up. I don't want to talk about that bitch.
Dude, hold on a second. Time out, because this bitch is back on the news.
Is she really?
Today on the news.
There you go. Proves my point even more. Look, she's back in the news. I hadn't heard about her in a hot minute. But look, there was that crazy ass thing. I thought this was wild, new in the news. The NSA warning about starting your Wi-Fi router.
It sounds like you just got scammed.
I didn't do it.
Well, you didn't do it.
No.
Oh, I thought, okay. When you said that, I was like, I'm never rebooting again.
Yeah, I put it up and people really gave, two sides to the coin comments on that one. It was kind of interesting. I enjoyed sharing that piece of information.
Well, what was funny is like we talk about the new shiny distraction and like we just rattled off a bunch of them. Like, dude, I feel like for like 9 shows in a row, we went on Tim Walz and dude, he's in all kinds of trouble and like nobody's talking about it. There's like ICE is like that was the #1 hot topic, and then Epstein, and now we're talking about fucking oil tankers in the Gulf of America.
Yeah. The only good piece of news that I saw today, honestly, that was like wholesome news, and some people may not have the same opinion, and I understand, but I saw there was a news anchor that was flown out to a Navy ship, and that Navy ship is part of Fleet Week in Houston, or not Houston, somewhere in Texas on the coast there, along the coast in the Gulf of America.
Corpus Christi or something.
And there's Fleet Week there. Do you know what Fleet Week is? So Fleet Week is a Navy tradition where like certain Navy ships are chosen to go to different places in the United States. And it's And this is where it gets funny for me. It's funny and awesome at the same time that it's happening. It's awesome that it's happening because my ship is there for Fleet Week. And my ship that I was on has been chosen many times to do Fleet Weeks, you know, year after year after year. And
what, the Kearsarge?
Yeah, the Kearsarge. Anyways.
Am I not allowed to say that?
I don't know. I'm keeping it discreet. But anyways, so the Kearsarge has been chosen many years over and over and over, and they were chosen again to go to Fleet Week. But this is what I find absolutely comical about it. Most Fleet Weeks for the East Coast are held in New York City. Well, Mamdani is in New York City now, and Trump is the president. He's like, send them ships right down to Texas. You know what I mean? Nice. So anyways, yeah. I thought that was pretty cool, and getting to see my old ship and everything on the news, that was pretty neat.
Well, yeah, a couple things, you know, there's a couple things that have happened. One, so you know, I made a video about it today about the traders.
Oh yeah,
so
I watched
in
that.
In order to day trade.
Wait a minute, really quick. Is that the one with the 25,000 versus 2,500?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So basically, if you are a day trader, right? That means
what is a day trader? Is that you?
Yes. So a day trader is a person who buys a stock and sells it in the same day.
And real quick, are you called a day trader because that's the only time you're allowed to trade? No,
it's because it's the type of trading. So for example,
I thought because the time limit when you stop at the end of the day.
No, it's just like so there's 3 different types of traders. There's a trader who buys Amazon and just holds it forever.
Okay.
There's a person who is a swing trader, which like they'll buy Amazon today and sell it in like a couple days or a couple weeks or a couple months, whenever. And then a day trader is a person who buys a stock with the intention of selling it in the same day. So basic, it's some people also call it scalpers. Like you're scalping a trade. Like you're in, like I was in and out of a trade for a couple $100 today.
So you're buying under 11 minutes. You're buying the ticket, but not going to see the show.
No, I'm buying the ticket and selling it to somebody else.
You're not going to see the show.
Yes. So, or I sell the ticket and I get to see the show for free.
Or that too.
So basically, when you're a day trader, you have to have at least 25,000 in your account. If you don't have 25,000 in your account, you can only do 3 day trades within a 5 business day window. So imagine like Monday through Friday, you can do 3 trades.
Gotcha.
If you do a 4th trade, your account can be frozen. You can lose your account. Huh?
Penalties.
Yeah, but like it could be a very significant penalty.
Absolutely.
So basically what they've done is they've decided that because so many people are into trading now, and it's great for the market, it's liquidity for big business, and they want to draw new people in. So what they're doing is they're changing it from 25,000 to 2,500. So that means anybody who's got 2,500 in the bank you can trade as many times as you want.
You could just be a day trader because of that.
Yeah, well, it just means that you have more opportunity to. A lot of people don't have 25K in their account to trade.
Absolutely, I get it.
You know, so it gives the smaller guy more opportunities. Like here's I'll give you a great example. Like I was in a trade today that probably hit for a couple hundred, right? But there's a lot of times that you could get into a trade and make $60, get out, get into another one, $40, get in, get out. But if you're only allowed those 3 trades a week, you're going to wait for the grand slam, and sometimes it doesn't happen. I would much rather get in and make $20, $30 in 15 seconds.
So basically, some of this news that we've been talking about has been beneficial to you today.
100%. Yeah, like the oil, everything. The economy is, like I said, people feel like
now
the fear is over.
Do you recall about a week ago we did like those 4 shows 4 days in a row?
Yeah, last week.
Yeah, and one of those shows I said, is this Trump's plan to, get it jump started and going? Like the minute he took control of that strait, and it all changed.
I heard something today that was kind of fucking genius. And you know how he always say, oh, he's got an art of the deal. He plays the 5D chess, right? So everyone's leaving Iran to go to Texas to get the oil right now, right?
Yeah.
So a couple of the big countries that are doing it is Japan, China.
That's why the Kearsarge is there, ready. For anybody want to pop off?
So the comment was Trump do all this on purpose because now the people who are getting our oil are the countries that we are major in debt to. For example, Japan, we owe trillions of dollars to,
That's
right?
exactly what I said. All of those countries that hold our debt were going to have to use us to replenish their energy.
So we can give them a discount.
Yep.
And they knock off our debt at a discounted rate too. So I don't know. Maybe that was his plan.
You heard it here first from the PTE Show last week.
Yeah. So King Lord Jesus Trump is, selling oil to the people that we owed.
You like him today? Or are you still on the fence?
I'm done. I'm done with him.
And you know what? That's good, because what you could do is you could stand your ground on how you feel, because he is who he is as a person. And at the same time, you can reap some of the benefits that he's going to bring to our country, because that's what kings do for their people.
He's King Trump. He's King Jesus. He's making wine out of water, and he's walking. I saw the greatest video today. He had the thorns and shit on his head, and he was walking across the water.
Jesus. Now, all of that is coming from AI and people making.
No, he was really doing that.
No, I'm saying,
yeah, you big dummy.
He wasn't the one that made that one.
Listen, at this point, I don't fucking know, dude. I doubt it.
You know which one I like? There was one of him and Jesus sitting in the Oval Office at a little table, both eating McDonald's, saying, "Look how we got the non-believers to all of a sudden believe."
Yeah, dude. Like at this point, dude, I
and they're both laughing at the table.
I don't believe anything. And here's another thing. The Artemis thing, there's a lot of like discrepancies coming up with Artemis. There's videos showing things that, a lot of people I'm starting to hear a lot of like Globers kind of question some stuff.
I will say, I think that anything when it comes to space, unless you're Elon Musk, is questionable.
Fair game to I don't know, man. It's
space.
I
went to space. He went to space.
Space ain't real. Space. So here's a big thing. So today's tax day. Did you do your taxes?
Hell no, I filed an extension.
I forgot to. So come get me, Elon, and your Doge Cadme.
My goodness.
So here's something that I just noticed today. I picked up. I have yet to hear this. A huge tariff refund system is about to go live. Almost everybody has no idea it's even coming. On April 20th, the government is set to launch CAPE, a refund system tied to the court filing against Trump's global tariffs. That means $166 billion need to be paid back. What?
Who? To us?
Not to us.
Get the fuck out of here. I swear to God, goddamn liberals do everything to try to make American lives miserable.
I don't understand. I hate those people. I hate them. I just absolutely fucking hate them.
Maybe that's a lot of money. We're not purple. Maybe we're just like a light shade of pink.
Yeah. Maybe we're just damaged.
Smart conservatives.
We're damaged reds. Jeez. We're like the broken red in the crayon box.
We're woke reds. We're woke reds.
Wow. I don't know about all that. But that's a big news that nobody, you heard it here first. You know who you are. Speaking of you know who you are, exactly. Can I give a shout out to our number one real fucking fan, my man Brett? Dude, Brett's been holding us down from day one, dude. He's always up in the comments, always, all up in the videos and throwing his 2 cents in there. And we were talking about doing it live. We're going to try to do that. That would be fun. Getting the comments going, getting them chirping in the comments.
Yep. I think that would be an interesting twist to the show. And actually tonight, we're going to do exactly what we said today. And we're going to answer just a couple of your questions. We're going to, give our 2 cents on it. And we hope to hear back from you. And, follow up would be awesome. And I will tell you, Ronan and I talked about it. We want to do a really big push towards engagement. You see a lot of social media and content creators that never engage with their subscribers. And we actually have fun doing it. We've learned from it a little bit. And you know who you are.
Yeah.
And we want to go in that direction. We think it could be fun. And so tonight, Ronan's going to start off with this first one. The first question we got today was, how did we meet?
Shit, we were fucking How old are you? Hold on. You're a couple years older than me.
So I can tell you that when we met,
It was in the
without a
80s.
doubt,
It was in the 19th century.
It was 1987. I was 9 years old when I moved into that house, and Ronan had just. How long did you live there before we moved in? We moved in March of 1987.
Probably like dude, I remember when we moved in there, the motherfucking grass was not grass, it was dirt. And the whole neighborhood was just like it hadn't even
Trees
been
were like
started
this
yet.
big. This was
I feel like we were one of the first people to move into the neighborhood.
Well, your family, my family, we were first owners of those homes.
Well, yeah, but like it was like the neighborhood, like behind my house was all dirt. Like it wasn't even a neighborhood at that point.
Yeah, they were building so many houses.
Yeah, dude, we've known each other for a long fucking time, man. We went to elementary school together and middle school and high school and fucking
March of next year will be 40 years that we've known each other.
That's crazy, dude.
That is absolutely crazy.
Yeah,
and
we should have.
It's been a wild ride the whole way through. I mean, there's been ups, there's been downs, there's been talks of wanting to write a movie. There have been
I'll tell you what, dude,
adventures where we were like almost in handcuffs.
Well, the greatest thing about our relationship is that there were no phone cameras when we were growing up.
And thank God there weren't.
Because I can tell you what, we could be in jail and dead about 10 different times. Yeah, I would have been deported. But yeah, good thing that didn't happen when Trump was the president, because King Trump would have thrown me out of here.
Oh my goodness.
No, but dude, we could have been dead 10 different times. Absolutely. 12 different times.
No, we've had great memories. We've traveled. Do you remember that one night when we decided to go to the beach?
I remember.
Just so I could get a piece of ass, and we go there and we slept on somebody's deck.
Yes.
Who they were, like
Ocean City
house. Yeah,
I know who they were. You know who you are.
God,
talk about a super lib.
Know these people's house, and we parked under their they had one of those raised houses, to keep
on stilts.
Levels on stilts.
Yeah,
and then we parked under the house and we slept. I slept in the car. You and Dave slept on the deck. That was crazy, dude. We did shit like that all the time.
Yeah, that was. See, I was just about to tell a story, but it might be too much. But that's the thing is, like, a lot of our stories.
Push the envelope. Go.
Okay. There was a night where I never messed with acid and shit like that, but there was a night you were all fucked up, and I'll never forget. We were at this party, and you were laying on this couch, and it was a white couch with red leaves on it. Like it was like something in like your grandmother's house, right? It was like it looked like a fall fucking sofa.
Are we talking about that house on Taney Avenue?
Yeah. So you're laying there. I think you were like doing E and acid or some shit like you were tripping balls, dude. You thought our boy was standing in the corner.
John Dunn.
Yeah. So you were like, "Hey, John, what are you doing?" I'm like, "It's a fucking coat hanger," and I was sober as shit. And I remember you were laying on this couch, and I started fucking with you. I was like, "Yo." I was like, "Bro, are you bleeding?" And you're like, "What?" And it looked like there was blood all over the sofa. Dude, I was fucking bugging you out. And then my dumbass made you drive home, and I was in the car.
Yeah, because you had to be home. I didn't have to be home.
Yeah, but why? I should have drove.
Absolutely.
You said, you were like, "Man, I feel like we're floating." And I'm just sitting there sober in the passenger seat with your fucking candy flipping.
And you had your license. That's the fucked up part.
Dude, yeah, that was. Yeah, dude, we've done some wild stuff. A lot of it can't be said because it's still I don't know what the statute of limitations is on some of the stuff we've done, but I wish we could tell some of it.
If you can only imagine, in almost 40 years, there have been so many things that we have experienced, and not just all the goofy stuff when we were young, but as adults, being able to be friends with Ronan for so many years, you get to experience what it's like being an adult, buying your first house, having kids.
I will say one phase that we had, which was much different than like growing up and fucking cutting up and was like our first piece of like adulthood, where I moved out of my parents and we got a place together. We had a townhouse.
Yeah.
And every month we had a landlord named Mr. Wilson, and every month this motherfucker, he looked like Tupac. And every month this motherfucker showed up at the door at 9 a.m. on the first of every month. He even showed up on New Year's Day at 9 o'clock in the morning looking for that bread.
Right.
And I will say this, every single month we did not have the rent money about 12 hours before he showed up, ever.
And every single month, 1 minute before he knocked on the door,
we had the money.
That's crazy.
So we were like scrapping, dude. I remember we would be selling bikes and I would sell blood if I had to.
My God.
But that was a good time living together.
Yeah, we even went through a period where we didn't talk for like 5 years.
Yeah. I don't know if it was that long, but
it was. Never mind. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. There's like, oh, what? No, can't do that. But like, we've gone through life together, and
yeah, and life sometimes dishes out ugly and bad, and it's okay. It's what matters is how you come out on the end. And I think like where Ronan and I are in our lives and our friendship, we'll just be friends forever now. I mean, it's not like it's different. We've done all our growing, and now we come together as who we are. Ronan is who he is. I accept every single bit of it. And
yeah, you're like an STD, dude. You just won't fucking go away. You're just constantly there on my butt cheeks. But it's that's a long time, dude. 40 years.
Yeah, man. So we got another question here. Could we do a show together?
Yes.
So
soon.
Let me take on this one to start. So a couple things we've talked about and we will work on and we're going to figure out is going live. That's one of the things that we want to do. Now, I know it's not us together, but Ronan lives 1,000 miles away from me. And we committed to this show back in September, and we have stayed true to it through thick and thin. We're at the point now where we're actually enjoying the involvement and the comments from people. So the fact that you guys had asked, would we ever or could we ever do a show together? We're going to make a point of it. It's going to happen this summer at some point, the way I view it. Whether
it'll probably happen
home visiting family, or
I think it'll happen in the next 60 days.
So
because I had a friend who passed away, and they're going to be doing I didn't tell you this, but they're going to be doing something up there. I was thinking, more like a party type of thing.
Okay.
And I'll make sure that I come up for an extra day, and then
absolutely. Now at the point where I'm at, the kids are all moved out, and I have a whole entire house to myself, and the studio
there you go.
Is huge. So
we'll be side by side.
Yeah, that will actually
no Redskins helmets.
So it looks like, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do a show within the next 60 days together.
You asked, we deliver.
Absolutely. All right. Well, then I guess we can move on to the next question.
Well, yeah. Here, let me ask you this next question. So, go for it. I think it was the same person actually asked the difference between. They asked where we lived. Obviously, I'm in Florida. You're in Maryland, and they asked about the red and blue states.
So I can say we are clearly a blue state here in Maryland.
Yeah, and I'm a red state, hopefully forever.
Oh my God, Jesus, that's scary.
But
I want to relocate my whole life down there, and
but you know,
down there it turns blue.
I think. Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby. I think where they were going with the question was so basically the way we talk and the style of talk, you would think that we were like from fucking born and raised in Texas or something, because we are very conservative, which is interesting because growing up in Maryland was predominantly Democrat growing up.
Well, here's the crazy thing about Maryland as an identity to a political party. Maryland has very congested inner cities, and they get a lot of Democratic blue vote that way. But the outskirts of all of those cities, I don't care where you are in Maryland, every single one of those outskirts where they are less populated, they are dominated by a conservative ideology. Would you agree? Like outskirts of Frederick,
Montgomery County, yeah.
But then you move into Baltimore, big city, lots of
criminals.
Population. Yeah, exactly. Criminals, welfare recipients, lowlifes. I mean,
you said it. Harsh. You ain't lying. You just out here spitting facts, brother.
Jesus.
But did you just say Trump? What was that?
Nice.
Somebody calling for Trump?
Nice.
Anytime I hear Jesus, I think about Trump now. I'm like, what? You rang? Massa?
So do we have any more questions that we wanted to touch
Yes.
on? Oh, there was another one. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
so you were fucking berating me about, did you write them down? And you didn't, you lazy cunt.
I did write it down. I can
So,
say it right now.
so listen,
You want me to say it?
what will no kings talk about when King Jesus, Lord, Savior, and Grace is gone?
I will love to answer this question. I think my bold prediction is this. If liberals take control of the White House and they eliminate Trump and take his name off the Kennedy Center and all of that shit, they're not going to talk about him. I think that liberals are going to just find ways to try to solve the divide in our country. And they're going to do it in the wrong way, and it's going to be the trigger of something big. And I think they're going to be the reason why, you see guns on the streets.
I think when Trump is gone, that the Democrats are going to put all their focus on trans, indigenous, Alaskan salmon.
What?
Transgender, indigenous, Alaskan salmon.
Okay, where is this coming from? What is this
Dude,
angle?
these people are sick. These people are fucking idiots. They will blame Trump and they will talk about Trump for the next 30 fucking years.
You think so?
Trump will be dead in a box and they will still be talking about the hangover of Trump. And I'll tell you why. Because places like CNN went to fucking shit the minute that Trump was out of office because nobody cared about Kamala Harris or Joe Biden. Trump sells, dude. And whether it's good or it's bad, it sells. Look at our fucking posts, man. When we post, bam, people want to talk about it. They will talk about Trump till he'll be dead and gone for 30 fucking years. They're always going to talk about Trump.
Let me ask you this. Did you catch anything today or get any inclination from some of your research, or did you pass by anything that kind of blew an idea right under your nose of a JD Vance, Erica Kirk ticket for 2028? Neither do I. That scares the shit out of me. And what gives Erica
Dude,
Kirk...
I would trust my wife with Eric Swalwell before that.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ, that criminal. Yeah, look at how much news is coming back out ever since we took the straight over.
Yeah.
And you know why it was so hyper-focused on, I think, is because liberals were hoping that he didn't have a solution, and they knew that if he took control of that straight, they have analysts that predict this type of shit. If he gets control, this is what's going to happen. Chuck Schumer, blah blah blah.
Yeah, no, it's the Erica Kirk thing and JD Vance. I've heard that a couple times, and
the first time I've seen it was today.
Well, so word on the street is, inside the box of ticks. I also heard something else, that Charlie Kirk and her, rest in peace, my brother, Charlie Kirk and her were they were like a match made in order for, he was going to be a president basically. And she was going to be
that before.
Yeah. So, and he was tight with JD Vance. I don't know, man. Something about JD Vance I don't like, and I equally don't like Erica Kirk. There's something super sketch about her that just I can't get on board with. And then the two of them together, that scares me even more. Like, whatever happened to Vivek Ramaswamy, dude? That was my boy. Isn't he in Ohio? He ran to be like the governor of Ohio. I fucked with that guy. He was cool. Him and Ron DeSantis. There you go. Vivek and Ron DeSantis. Let's go.
Yeah. Have you heard over in California, something like 8 fires in Los Angeles County throughout this last week? All 8 of them were in warehouses of one type or another.
I saw one dude lit a fucking...
That was crazy.
A toilet paper warehouse on fire because he said that they didn't pay him enough to live.
Yeah. No, but 8 warehouses in Los Angeles County.
Did they have any water?
Did they have any water?
Last time they didn't have water and all that fucking joint burned down. So we kind of touched on this one a little bit earlier. So one of the last questions was, somebody said that Trump had a reset. And I've talked about this before with the dollar and crypto and all that kind of stuff. Is Trump planning like a global reset? And touching on the debt to Japan and all that kind of oil stuff and relocating the ships. Maybe that's his way of paying down the debt, is, selling them, because, you have countries like Canada, Venezuela, Mexico, like there's a lot of natural resources there. There's a lot of minerals there that we pretty much run from the western side of the world. And I think what he's doing is he's trying, like what Russia did. Russia like basically built a fortress around Russia, and they were like,
it's
we're gonna
exactly what we talked about last week. Exactly.
we're gonna build Russia from the inside out. And I think, I mean, it's only been a few days, but it looks like America might be doing something like that.
Yeah,
I still don't fuck with you.
Some of the work that I did last week was saying that Trump may have actually liked Putin's model and is kind of copying that. And when you mention Venezuela, that's one part of the plan. You mentioned Canada, another part of the plan, Mexico, all of that right there forces all of these other countries to use us. And it's exactly that. The people that hold our debt will give you a discounted rate. You cut down some of this debt. And then here's another thing that's a little scary with some of this debt talk and some of the work that Trump has been doing in reference to like cryptocurrency. But there was talks of major corporations buying some of the American debt. You know, they buy the debt through bonds. And then, you know, it's what's that mentality that you keep talking about? You'll have nothing and you'll be happy.
Oh yeah, you'll own nothing and be happy.
Project. Yeah, and like everybody will be issued a card and that's how they're paid. And like if you wanted to, you know,
it's like a global allowance
Apple computer, you would go through Apple corporate. There wouldn't be you know, like a Best Buy, and they hold the debt, and I don't fucking know. This fucking wild ass shit.
Yeah, it's speaking of which, your boy Nick Shirley, he's fucking firing off.
Yeah.
This week with there's a bill 2624, I think is what it's called, AB 2624 in California, where it's basically called the Stop Nick Shirley Act, because he's going into
that today, didn't you?
What's that?
You posted on that today, didn't you?
Yeah, bro, like fucking we're on it, dude. We're killing it with content. But yeah, so they're trying to shut him down because he keeps like popping into all these hospices and he's like, hello.
Dude, they're
where's all the people
$300 to pretend there's someone that is
dude, we're
and needing medical assistance. And
bro, where were all these jobs when we were fucking struggling, dude? I would have been the fucking best protester ever, dude. I'd have been like, Tuesday 3:00, got it, where you need me at.
Let me ask you this: why didn't you had Nick Shirley, who came from nothing and found all of this? Where in the world was Mr. Musk and his team of Doge professionals looking for fraud? That's a pretty big fucking fraud. Nick Shirley uncovered, just from the Minnesota fraud, an estimated $19 billion.
You almost wonder if he was a plant.
Who?
How?
Elon?
No, Shirley. This kid was born in 2002. This kid's he's a young dude. How is it that this kid just miraculously figures all this shit out, dude? Like, you almost wonder, like, if he's an insider of some sort where he's a plant. They use him to...
And next thing you know, that plant did all of his assignments and he's dead.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's weird how he could, like you said... You know, one thing that I've always thought is strange. How many people do you know that run a multi-million, billion-dollar empire? I don't know anybody. How many of you ever met that run like the same person has 4 super successful businesses? Look at Elon Musk. He has Tesla, right? Tesla alone. If I told you I was the owner of Tesla, you would think I was the fucking shit, right?
Yeah.
And then if I was like, oh, yeah. And then I have
SpaceX.
And then I have SpaceX. SpaceX is going to be the biggest ever IPO when it comes out. Dude, you could quote me right now. When SpaceX comes out onto the stock market, it will be the biggest ever stock to IPO ever in like the history of the stock market.
And how much do you think it will go for starting?
Well, I don't know. They're talking about like $1.7 trillion already into it. So it's going to be...
the only way a person like you or I could ever get that stock is we would have to work for the company.
Exactly. Yeah. And get like a share of it.
Yeah. You get 1 share or something, because I guarantee you, I don't know if you know this, but Elon takes very good care of his employees.
Well, that's why...
Right up.
You know, that's why people want to work for him. And he's a workaholic, dude.
You know, from day one of employment, you're awarded your vacation time and you pay that much for health insurance.
I read somewhere that he doesn't even have a fucking house. Now, I don't know if I think what they mean is like he doesn't live there, but like he lives in like, you know, those boxables? You know what a boxable is?
No.
Dude, boxables are the fucking business. It's those houses. It's like a little tiny house that unfolds. It's like a fucking Lego box. You
So what
open it
does he
and
take his house everywhere with him?
people say he's the type of dude that would like sleep in his office. He's just that kind of guy. Like he was born
Other
to
than
work.
the bank account, he's like you and I.
I think he's I think he's an alien. I think he's one of
Jesus.
those hybrids. I think so. He was in an interview a couple weeks ago and he told the fucking person, they said, "How do you do it?" He said, "I'm an alien." And they all started laughing and he went like this. And I'm thinking to myself, like, hey, you know how they like to dangle the carrot in front of you, right? I wouldn't be surprised if this motherfucker was a goddamn alien.
Dude, see if you can find a video on him on that interview. You think it's possible? You think it's out there?
Yeah, it was like on like the World Economic Forum too. It was like,
all right, you find the video. I'm going to talk about something really quick. All right. So you guys, we're going to try really hard, like I said earlier, to spend a lot of time getting you involved. You know, we want to communicate with you. We want to know how we can grow the show. We've seen all kinds of feedback. We've had people make fun of us and we've had people, really enjoy some of the things we talk about. And we're just like that. We're different. So if you're used to a podcast being a certain way, don't get used to it with us. We're different. We're always going to be, and it's just going to be like unhinged, off the wall.
I'm different. Yeah, I'm different. Yeah, that's like one of our newest fans was like, "You guys are stupid. You don't even know what you're doing." I'm like, absolutely, and that's what makes it fucking awesome,
right?
And we're not really pressed on doing what everybody else is doing. We're just doing what we're doing, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, at least I know you'll listen.
And who is that guy, Ronan?
Hey, Brett,
you know who you are.
Hey, Brett will be there with us.
Yeah.
As long as we got Brett, dude, you know what? Everybody can leave us. And then, we have a new one in here. So, as a matter of fact, I have this written down here, 2 noobs. So there's 2 people that I want to bring up, and I'm not going to say their names because they know who they are. But it started off very rocky. It was like we posted a video, and you know who you are was like, you're a fucking idiot, you're a retard, and da 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 da. And it's like,
it wasn't like that. It was.
It was aggressive, right?
And then it was enough to for those of you that don't know the story, it was enough to trigger Ronan to where I had to call him and be like, "Bro, what the fuck are you doing, man?"
Listen, it was enough to trigger an immediate
episode,
an emergency show. And then we have this other guy who's just recently coming to chats, and his first comment was like, "You're an idiot, and like you're stupid, and this and that." And now these two noobs have become to be friends. So it's
and we actually love that. We appreciate it more than you even realize. Like, we love what's that thing? There's that saying, the underdog story. Like, like turn the frown upside down, make somebody smile even when they don't.
Gay ass motherfucker. So turn the frown upside down. No, but like that was that was interesting that for someone to come at you so aggressive in the comments. And it's, what's funny too is like we've mentioned this before. So if you see sometimes I see it and I'm like, that looks kind of stupid. Like you'll post something and I'll write like, "Great video, John," and it looks like you wrote it to yourself because we share the same account.
Actually, I'm glad you brought that up. And just so you guys know, Ronan doesn't even know this yet. But from now on, when I comment, I'm just going to put the initial J
at
the end of my comment. And now Ronan does know. He's going to have to remember and do the 30-day habit cycle thing. But he'll put an R at the end. But you will definitely know it's going to be me, Jay.
But it was funny, though, because, you and I are alike in so many ways. And then, like, I'm the hothead of the two of us, right? So you're a little bit more calm and reserved, and I'm like the fucking firecracker, right? So when this dude was talking shit about you, I fucking went hard in the paint. You didn't say a single thing, but I jumped in. I was like, "Whoa, hold on a second. You're talking to my boy all wrong here. Can your mama sew? Boom, get her to sew that," right? So, and then it went on like 17 different comments. And then all of a sudden he made a comment, something like, "Now that you've won me over."
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see. And then the second guy, that guy, I love that one. He said, he was like, "You're an idiot." And then at the end he was like, "I'm glad that we could talk without getting nasty." And I'm like, wait a minute, motherfucker. You said I was an idiot. But now hey, you know who you are. Now you guys are our biggest fans. Not as big as Brett, but you're up there, you know, you're Brett number 2 and 3.
Brett Brett has been with the show from like the very beginning, and he's been a pretty chill dude. And I think he's even like steered us in a certain direction at times without us even realizing. He was an inspiration. So
I always see his name. His name makes me want to keep going.
This show is dedicated to you, Brett.
Yes, sir, Brett. And you know, I heard something today, and it was like, if I do an hour-long podcast and it affects one person in a positive way, then it makes me keep going. And I always see that dude's name all the time.
He had a funny one today. He said something like maybe Hunter Biden should just move to Iran.
And then he could put on the little hijabi and they wouldn't know who he is, you know? So, Brett, we appreciate you, brother. And the other 2 noobs, welcome aboard, bitches.
Jesus. No, we love you guys. You guys are all awesome, and just share the comments. Like, we're different, and this is going to be different. And you could say you were a part of that crazy fucking wild ass ride that's now in book and paperback and best selling.
You know, you know what I was thinking of? I wonder how Swervin's doing. I bet you he'd be happy to see us fucking balling out.
I think we lost touch with Swervin because of our like disconnect from TikTok. Like, we appreciate everything that TikTok taught us and we learned from, but when YouTube really like started clicking for us, and I don't mean we have succeeded at YouTube, we understand it. You know, doing a podcast is a lot of work when you think about it. All of the editing and production and creative content you do between shows.
Yeah.
To share
the hair products, you know, like.
Right? I mean, it all takes time, and we don't make money on this. We're not monetized in any way, shape, or form. We've said it from the very beginning. This is our therapy. We love it. And I think, you know, that should speak volumes. Like, we're just so dedicated to this project that, you know, who cares?
But I think that it's like that saying, if you're passionate about what you do, it's never a day of work. And that's
absolutely,
you know, that's like what this is. It's like, we don't get paid for it. And quite frankly, I don't really give a shit if we do get paid for it, because that was never the plan. But I will say this. So I made a video tonight, the one that you edited, about having a bad day, right? Like,
you want to share that really quick with them?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm just in like this little funk, right? So like the last 2 or 3 days, and I'm, you know, it could be with the kids or whatever, but like, I'm like super short with everything. It's just like, don't know why. It's just, I don't know if I'm on my period. And, you know, you get those days where you just, you know, there's not like a massive thing that's happened. I got a couple things going on, but you know, you get to that point where you can either go down into a deeper hole, or you can try to kind of rebound. And like, being in Florida, this is why I bring it up, is I'll never forget the first probably 6 months we lived here. And I was going to school in Tampa, in the city. And there's a causeway that's on the way to Tampa. And
I think I know this story. Go ahead.
So when you're driving into the city, you're basically on a floating road, and on the left is water and on the right is water, right? And I'm in like a bad mood for whatever reason, and I'm sitting at this red light, and I'm sitting there all pissed off, and I glance out the window, and there's like chicks in their bikinis and their thongs, and there's people grilling, and there's music, and there's jet skis, and fucking like, it's like some shit you would see out of a fucking movie. And they're like riding, you know, those speedboats that look like Corvettes?
Yeah.
And there's one that looks like a Chrysler 300. So all of these people are like just fucking playing volleyball and pickleball and fucking swimming, and there's dolphins and shit jumping out of the water, and there's fucking swans. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I remember looking out the window, and I'm like, damn, bro, I live here. Like, I'm going to school. And that moment like really like triggered something in my brain where it's like, life can always be a lot fucking worse, you know?
I remember that story, Ronan. That's crazy as shit. You told me this story one time.
So I bought
that light, or wherever the hell you were when you had that epiphany.
So that weekend, when I was after that happened, I was at like Burlington Coat Factory or something, and I'm walking, and all the way across the fucking place, I'm like buying clothes for my son, and I see this picture all the way in the back of the fucking factory, and I walk over there, and it's like a farmhouse picture, and it says thank you or thankful.
Did you
I
buy
got
it?
that bitch and put it right above my bed. If you look at my bed, there's a picture above it and it says thankful. And every day I see it, I remind myself life could be worse. You know, I'm thankful for being down here. I'm thankful for the stuff that I have. And I'm thankful that I don't live up in motherfucking Maryland where you live, bitch.
Fuck off, dick fuck.
That's my 2 cents.
It's so weird because, you know, my family lives around here and I don't understand. No one in my family, or at least my immediate family, has opposite views of how I feel about life and being conservative and family first and things like that. You know, the America we loved, yet they're still here. And I'm like, guys, let's all just move. Let's go.
Bounce.
Dude, seriously. I told my brother one time, but I don't know, he doesn't take things seriously like that. I was like, why don't we get a piece of land?
Yeah, build a
And
compound.
yeah, absolutely. Because all of us together could make that work.
Easily, too. It'd be pretty affordable if you think about it.
Absolutely. And we're talking about if that were ever to happen, it would be a compound where they practically give you the land because, you know, nobody wants to live there.
Yeah. No, that's kind of the idea with our property up north is like, you know, when the kids get older, like who knows? I mean, it's 150 acres. You put fucking few houses on there. Everyone's got their own space and you're only paying for the cost of building the house. You know, like, and you live on all that property. Like that shit's crazy, dude. Like that's one thing that nobody ever taught us when we were growing up. Nobody taught us how to trade stocks. They just taught us how to go be a fucking employee somewhere.
You know, I want to do a show on not like prepping and survival, but I want to do a show on like what would it be like to create that lifestyle, to create a compound lifestyle where it could be like 3 or 4 different families that, you know, do this together. They could be individual families that come together, or family members that do this together. But I think that would be a pretty cool show. What do you think?
There's a I want to say it's near like the Ozarks. We talked about this a couple months ago. It's like a white community. It's all white.
Terrible. That's not what I want
Why
to
is
do.
that terrible? It sounds like heaven. Tell me I'm lying. Listen, I guarantee you in that neighborhood, when you go to a store, the fucking Old Spice deodorant's not locked up. The shampoo is not behind a glass case. Listen, I'm not being racist. I'm just saying, like, you know, like it is what it is. Like, you know.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, those things do suck.
But that's like a compound type of thing. They all live. They bought, I think it's like 40 acres, and there's like 7 or 8 families, and they basically each get a little piece of something, and they all work together. And you know,
like Ronan said earlier, thank God cell phones and cameras didn't exist back in the day. We would be in prison with chains, moving rock piles from one side to the other.
They live in this neighborhood, and there's no crime and stuff like that. So it's great, dude. You know, build your own compound.
No, but seriously, like, let's do a show on it. I think it would be fun just to see like what people would like, advice from other people. You know, maybe they could comment and give their, like, there was this one guy, he made fun of me the other day for wearing my hat backwards. And he didn't understand that I was doing a green screen for the short. And when you have your hat facing forward, it kind of like blocks that light that you need. And I would have maybe turned green right up in here. And he was like, why would we take advice from anybody that
dude,
doesn't even know how to wear a hat? And I think he's like a prepper or something.
The keyboard Kenny's, man, they're fucking strong in the chat. No, like that's a great idea. Like I'd love to hear. Well, you know what? You know what would be even better? Ready for this? How about one of our listeners or one of our peoples who know about this can come onto the show and can fucking school us how to do it.
Yeah, that
as a guest. Not don't ask us questions in the chat. Put your name and info in the chat, and then maybe we can get your ass up on this screen, and we could do like a 3-way. Boop boop boop.
D5.
That would be fun. We've had a couple guests before. We did Jason, we did Swervin. You know what? We haven't had a guest in a long time.
No, we haven't.
Maybe that'll be our guest.
All right. So here's the deal, guys. We're going to make sure that this comes out as a short. You're going to see it if you want to be on the show with us. And remember, you're just shooting the shit with 2 40-something-year-old dads that are crazy and have nothing better to do and view this as therapy, if you want to do that and join us on the show, we will be more than happy. It's actually really easy. You can get on. All you have to do is have a laptop and we can make it happen. I think it would be fun. Ronan's right. Let's do it.
You know, on that note, even if you're not a prepper, if you have something interesting to talk about, Brett, you know who you are. If you have something that you think could add, you know, a 30-minute talk, you know, if you do something that's an interesting job, like I'm all ears, dude. Like we're always down. Like we said, we do our own thing. We have our own different show. Like we kind of do things differently. It doesn't have to be like a home run fucking grand slam every time, but like if you have something interesting to talk about, and a computer. The reason we say that we were going to do a show and this person didn't have a computer and couldn't get hold of a computer and, you know, that kind of stuff. It's pretty simple. As long as you have that little microphone thing and the little camera right there, we
you
can
don't
fucking
need all
do
of
it.
this equipment and lighting. Just
You don't need all that. I think Jason did his interview on his phone.
Maybe.
In his kitchen. He was just sitting there in his fucking kitchen. Swervin did his in the middle of a living room too. So that's what we do. Let's get a fucking guest up in this bitch.
Let's do it.
Especially one of the noobs
who
made fun of us and now they're our buddies.
Yep.
You know? Hey, let's get to know you. What are we talking about? Let's go. Right? Let's go. All right. Well, that was we went through the daily and weekly news, right?
Absolutely.
Pretty good.
It's 10:30.
John berated me today on how to do fucking better, more sophisticated YouTube videos because now he's a fucking YouTuber. 2 months ago, he was
trying.
2 months ago, he wouldn't listen to me. Now he's a fucking pro.
I'm trying, definitely. And the ultimate goal is to put out good, fun, humor, content, sometimes serious news, and ultimately engage with us. Talk to us. Let us know what you think. Tell us your opinion on the topic we bring up during the show. We would love to hear it. But until next time, make sure you check us out on YouTube at the PTE Show and TikTok at the PTE Show.